Welcome back. This is the second video of Chapter 17 dealing with the export process in Nasis. And you'll notice that we have loaded up the data the way we wanted it to look, and then we submitted that to the staging server. It gave us an upload complete without any conflicts. It also said that we'll get an email telling us when everything's ready, and that we'll be able to use this template right here again if we choose to. And you have to load that template back up in order to use it. That'll be in another video. So what ends up happening is we get this email comes in and it says, okay, hey, you've uploaded the data, and yeah, I'm giving you a switcheroo. I'm going to go ahead and loaded up North Carolina 031 because I have both spatial and tabular data to load. And so it's loaded up and it's been imported into the staging server. And so now the next thing that we need to do is we need to go to the staging server. And so we're going to fire up Explorer. And by the way, these YouTube videos will be available for future reference. And then here is the Nasis website. And you go to the documents page and the training materials, and there is Chapter 17 Exports Explorer, and that is everything that I'm discussing is in this particular document here. And so since we're going to the staging server, let's click on the staging server. It is the authenticated. We're going to log in and type in our password, and it'll take us to the web page, and you'll notice the address is soils.staging.sc.egov.usda.gov. And you'll notice that we've got two surveys up here on the staging server. Now when this thing gets cranked up, we're going to have all 3,300 surveys up here, and so it's going to be crowded, so just bear with it. I went ahead and I loaded up NC031, and so I'm going to select this survey. Notice the first item on the staging server is to select the survey, and we have imported the data from Nasis, and we have imported the data from the staging server, and the digitizing units will be posting all 3,300, approximately 3,300 survey spatial areas. And so we'll have all new spatial to go. And the reason why we're doing this is because we wanted a clean set of spatial data, removing all gaps and overlaps and cleaning up the topology. You will not be recalling spatial data in this refresh. You'll be using new Nasis and you'll be using new spatial. And then of course the spatial import is the process that the digitizing units will be using to upload their data. And then the verification is that part that basically marries the tabular data to the spatial data. It's going to take a few minutes. We're going to go ahead and begin the process, and no errors were found. So hey, that was really great. That means all the metadata and all the Nasis data was ready to go. And then if you wanted to look at the metadata, you could go in here and you could even edit the metadata if you chose to right through here. The interpretations, you can add the interpretations, but since you exported this information from Nasis, you shouldn't have to worry about this. If you wanted to run any reports, you can run reports off the map unit, off the interpretations, or off the spatial feature accounts. And since I'm mentioning that, the digitizing units will be submitting to you their emails, and that's basically, this email is what we were just looking at. It tells us how many polygons, and then how many feature descriptions, how many feature lines, and how many feature points. And you can take a look at all that. You can also have the ability to download this data. Typically what people download data for would be retrieving it from just to look at it again and first bring it into Access. And then the last thing we do is commit it. And then here is where it will run those validation checks, make sure everything lines up just properly, and then it sticks it over into the staging server. You also have the capability of deleting a survey if you choose to. You can say, well, this is not the one I want to use. Something might be wrong with it. You can go through here and delete it. Now your next tab is the Warehouse tab. And you can use this to identify I'm going to look at all the versions that we've got posted. And you can say that you see that I've been playing with this quite a bit and seeing that I have already, this is in staging server here. This is the survey area data, version number 12. We also have the archive version 11 and the spatial data. So you can see these are the sets of data that are available. The first set of data, and then the last set of data was the information that was maintained during this whole year-long process of refreshing the warehouse and the web soil survey and the data marts. So when you look at most of yours, you'll have the first set, the original submission, and the most recent submission that's up on the web soil survey now. And then this is the one I just put in during testing here. So don't worry too much about that. You'll only see two. And so that's basically the process. All you're going to do is come in here and select the survey area. You'll check the one that you want. You'll hit select. You'll notice that mine's already been selected down here. You'll identify the status, make sure that this is imported, make sure this is imported. There is no recall involved here. And then verify the data and then commit the data. So I hope that gives you a good summary of the entire process of loading up the Nasis data, exporting the Nasis data, and then using the staging server and the warehouse web page. If there's any questions, you can always contact me.